You guys remember that race car I was talking about in part 1 of the Civic weight reduction series? Did you see how much weight we took out of just one front door? Just one of them is 16 pounds. Well, now that you're here for part 2 of the EK Civic weight reduction series, we're going to move on to the back door. Let's see how much weight we can take out of this thing and just start shaving off the pounds like we're on the keto diet. So it's pretty much going to be the same thing. I'm going to have to pull the window out. I got to get the crank it down so I can get to the bolts holding the window up. Then I have this number 10, so I can move this window track out of the way to get the window out. And then same thing, back to getting the lock and handle out. And then I'll trace the door out and we'll see what we end up cutting. So the window regulator is now out. The window is out. I have it sitting back there with the other one. Now, next thing I got to do is get this little window out. It's a bit of a pain, but what you can do once these two bolts are out, this one here, this one up here, kind of pull this out. Probably going to be easier if you take this plastic out, which sucks because these are brand new. I just put these in. I hope I don't break them. But yeah, it'll be easier if I take this out to wedge this window here out. Let's get to it. Well, getting that glass out was easier than I thought. Once I pulled the plastic here out, the trim, I was able to flex this over a little bit. Don't flex too much because there is a Phillips head screw on top. If you feel more comfortable removing this, you can kind of just fold this molding here. You can unfold it all the way up to here, and there's a little Phillips head screw right up top over here that you can remove, and then you can take this bar out. But I'm gonna leave mine in for now. Next step that I'm going to work on is removing the lock mechanism. So I want to try and leave the door handle in. I don't want to go through the process of taking that out. So I don't know if you can see, but right here where the blue tip of my finger is, there's a little, I don't know. Anyways, there's a little kind of push pin in there right here that holds the lock mechanism to the door handle, so whenever you open the door handle, this opens. So I'm going to try and push that out, that way I can take this locking mechanism out without having to remove the door handle. The lock mechanism is now out. I was able to do it with leaving the door handle in place. So this here is the little blue clip that I was talking about. I broke it on the way out, so maybe it might be wiser to remove the door handle with it. But this is what I've got. This is what happened. I'll have to work with it. This little clip here pushes into this hole on the door right here. Let me get my fat hand out of the way. That hole. So that way whenever you lift here, you see how that actuates? This lock will get pushed down and then the latch will open. So this long arm here is for the actual lock itself. This is used to lock the door, lock and unlock, whatever. So just like the front, it's three Phillips head screws to get out. So I'm going to leave this set aside with the rest of the stuff. And then I'm going to close up the door. And And now I can finally mark this thing to see how much of this door we're gonna get rid of. So just like last time, I'm gonna take my pencil and run it along this lip of the door of the car body right here, so I can keep a nice straight line. And then I'll catch this curve down here, and there's a little lip down here at the bottom of the door, and that's the curve I'm going to follow once I get to the bottom. The reason I'm leaving this much on the front end of the door versus the back is because there's a second layer of sheet metal behind here that I want to leave to keep the door structurally sound. You know, I mean, obviously it's not going to be as strong as before, but I want to try to leave this end where the hinge is and this end over here where the latch goes as strong as possible, so I don't have to worry about the door like flopping open and closed on me. Alright, sketch is made. Very light, so you can barely see it. Like I said, I dipped down over here so I can leave that rotating assembly for the door lock. Gonna turn here, come all the way down to here, follow this lip underneath, and then follow the curve of the car body all the way up. I'm also leaving a little tab over here for this bar to be bolted, just to hold the window in place. So now to get these curves nice, because I'm going to be cutting this with a jigsaw, I'm going to actually use a unibit and make a hole here to try and get it as close as I can to this end, you know. And the same thing over here. Maybe I'll do the same at the bottom. I'm not too sure yet. We'll find out with this curve because of the hump, but we'll find out. Yeah, so I'll make a hole here and over here, and I'm actually gonna make another one here just so the top of the hole reaches the line. So when I put the jigsaw blade in, I can follow my line all the way across as I need. So, first I'm going to start with the center punch so I can make a little nick on the door where I want the hole to be. Figure around there is alright. Then I'm also going to make another one here. So like I said, I wanted to make another hole over here. Whoops. And then again at this end over here. Trying not to let the door swing open too much because I don't have the door stopper to keep the door from swinging. So if I let it swing too much, I may hit the hinge on the inside and put a dent on the door. Alright, I've made my center punches. Gonna take a drill bit to make a pilot hole. Regular drill bit, nothing too big. Now we can start. Make sure you don't go all the way through because there is a chance you may hit the other side of the door. And also don't put your fingers directly behind the drill bit because then you're going to end up with a hole in your finger too. So now I can take the unibit or step bit, however you guys like to call it, and start making this hole bigger. So I did that one. Now I'm going to go to a bigger one so I can get the hole as close to the mark as I can. I don't want to go past it. I want to get as close as I can to it. I think that's going to be it for now. Now I can get my jigsaw ready. Well, most of the door is cut out, as you can see. I've just run into a little problem up here where there's like a double thick layer of steel or sheet steel. So what happens is the jigsaw blade, when it goes in, it'll touch the back and it'll either bend or break the blade or kick the jigsaw back at you. So I want to avoid that. So there's some spot welds here. There's one here, there's another one here. So you should be able to tell by the little indentation there. Spot weld, and there's a third one right down here, spot weld. For the bottom one, I'm just going to try to get some aviation shears and cut the second layer out. If not, I'll have to drill that spot weld out too. So it might be 1, 2, and 3 that I have to drill out. So let's see, hopefully that works. Okay, so the door skin, well, the inside door skin is now removed. I left this little tab here for the rotary part of the lock, and then this tab here for this part of the door frame. I already took a file and smoothed the edges out so I don't cut myself. Now what I'm going to do is get rid of this door bar the same way I did in the front. So this seal here, if you can see right there, there's a little clip. So to get the rubber seal off the clip, you have to pull up and then back down. Same here again, up and then back down. I'm gonna do it one more time, up top over here, up and then back down. Now it lets me get access to these 4 spot welds, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like I showed you guys before, you'll be able to see them with little indentations. 3 and then 4. Those 4 spot welds are holding this part of the bar, this bracket right here. So now the same thing on this side here. This seal, lift up and down. The seal's out of the way, and I've got access to those 4 spot welds there. So these I'll have to drill a little hole in for the spot weld bit and then drill it out. Now if you're going to use a spot weld bit to remove this, you're going to need to make a pilot hole. Just be careful, same thing like we did in the front door. Just don't push all the way through, because then you're going to end up going through the door itself, and you don't want to do that, because then everything you did to make this nice goes to waste, because now you need a new door. With the spot welds all drilled out, the bar is now floating around in here. especially after I cut through the seam sealer like I did in the front door. So unlike the front, this bar you do not have to cut. This bar will lift out of the door without having to cut it, just because of the way the door is designed. So if you got the spot wells drilled out, this side will lift over here, and then this side will kind of just come out. Now you can dip it, bring the back up and over, and the whole bar is now out. And just like we did in the front, now we can take the razor blade and start taking off that seam sealer there, which I already did. Like I said, I got ahead of myself. I forgot to push record. The little tab that I had mentioned before, when I was cutting the door, I left this here for this part of the door lock. So I can lock and unlock the doors. So if I wanted to leave the car somewhere, I guess after I put windows in the front, I don't have to worry about the back doors being unlocked all the time. So I can easily lock these and unlock them just from the front of the car. As far as the door lock over here goes, the same way we removed it, we're gonna put it back. It's just the 3 Phillips head screws, and then this blue clip in here that I kind of broke last time, but it works good for me now. So yeah, once the latch is back in, you push that clip in and you've got your lock. So the door is now cut out. I'm super excited. Everything's mounted back in. Door closes like a dream. I worked on this beforehand. This is actually Lexan plastic, a polycarbonate. I got a couple of requests from some people that I know to make a video of this, so stick around, hit the notification bell, and I'll have a video up sometime in the next month or so on how I made these out of Lexan, and these definitely took even more weight out of this whole back door. So that is a win. So if you guys want to see, right in here, once I'm in the car, I can lock and unlock the door. So now it's locked. Can't get in from the outside. Now it's unlocked. And now I can get in. So the door is back together. Now I'm gonna grab all the parts that I took out of this thing, and let's see how much weight we took out of it. So I've got everything together now. I've got the bucket with the window regulator, a piece from the door latch, the roll-up handle, and a couple pieces in there that I cut off the door, which is the seam sealer and the bolts that was holding in the window regulator. So that's the bucket. I've got the door skin. I've got the bar. I've got the back door glass, and I've got the small quarter glass, because I made, like I said before, I made both of those out of Lexan. So let's see how much in total all of this weighs. So like before, I've got my little luggage weigher. Gonna turn this on. Let's start with the bucket. So the bucket, I'm just gonna hook this. This is already zeroed out. I'm gonna hook this on the lip of the bucket, and hopefully it doesn't drop. All right, what do I have here? The bucket weighs 4 pounds. So the window regulator and all the other little miscellaneous pieces that I took out, 4 pounds. Zero that out. Let's take the rear glass now. Let's see what we got. This is zeroed out again. Hook this here. And for the rear glass, I've got 6 pounds on just the rear glass. So that's 6 plus 4. That's already 10 pounds. Between the glass, the bucket. Now let me get this little glass. The little glass, oh, I didn't zero this out. The little glass weighs in at 0.8 pounds. So let's leave that 0.8 for later. So I'm already at 10 pounds. The door skin is going to weigh in at, I got to zero this out again. I keep forgetting. Door skin weighs in at, whoops, 2.5 pounds. So that's already 12.5 pounds out of the back door. Zero this out again. And let's weigh the bar. So for the bar, I'm just going to wrap this around. Whoops. Hook it on itself right here. And let's see, this bar is another 2.5 pounds. So, out of the back door, forgive me, I'm excited. Out of the back door alone, I've got 15.8 pounds, almost 16 pounds. That is 0.2 of a pound less than what I took out of the front door. So as far as what the Lexan weighed, this larger piece weighed in at 2.5 pounds, and the smaller one was at 0.5 pound. So I'm looking at 3 pounds from just this plastic. So I'm going to take the 15.8 pounds that I had and subtract the 3 pounds. 15, 14, 13, 12. 12.8 pounds. 12.8. So I'm looking at, for the back two doors, 12 and 12 is 24.8. You're looking at 1.6 pounds. Let's just say, keep it easy, 25 pounds out of the two back doors. So I got 32 pounds out of the front. I got 25 pounds out of the rear. I think I'm winning here. I've got over 50 pounds out of this car. Over 50 pounds. I'm like legit blown away, super excited, head over heels happy. So this is just exactly what I was looking for. I hope this video helped you out, because mind blown at how much weight I just took out of this car. 32 plus 25. Where's my math?
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time card.
So 57 pounds I took out of this. 57 pounds that you can remove out of your Civic sedan, whether it be 96 to 2000. I'm pretty sure the same rules for this applies for the EG, which is the 92 to 95 sedan. I'm sure you can get, similar results out of the coupes or the hatches where the doors are larger. I don't think you'll get 57 pounds out of just two doors, but I'm sure you'll take a nice chunk of weight out. So the four doors are now gutted. I have replaced the two rear glasses with Lexan on both doors. The next step for me would be the two front doors to make Lexan, so I can have a sealed car for when I wash. So that's another video for another day. I've got a lot of work ahead of me because I got two more Lexan windows to make. But guys, I am super excited with the results of this. I hope you guys are excited. I hope the video helped you guys, learn and figure out what steps you can take to take weight out of your race car, because who doesn't want to take weight out of their race car? Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the likes, comments, support, all of it. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. You guys make me want to take the time to film all of this, because without you, I just wouldn't have the drive. So again, thank you so much. Be well, stay safe. Always, always be thankful. And until next time,